guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel.
Ginika, must we always do this thing? Eh?
Yes, you're seeing my beautiful face again.
Relax. It's okay. Hello guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is your first Ginika, you see what you have caused. Hello guys, and welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time, if this is not your first time, then welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for clicking on my video again. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about how to build long-lasting friendship. It was a no-brainer that I was going to do this video with this fish over here. I've made 2 videos with her, so if you don't know who she is, please go and watch those videos.
Like, I basically own the channel, you understand,
Focus on me, please. Thank you. So today I'm going to be introducing this beautiful lady over here. We have been friends for like how long? I can't even.
I don't think I can count.
We've been friends for a really long time, like since primary school. This thing pre-grade 1. If you're not familiar with the concept, we don't blame you. It's something, a class before primary 1.
Yep.
Why our school? Honestly, why our school chose to put it? No idea. Why our parents decided to make us? No idea.
Ma, go up and pre-grade.
Yeah, she did. Met her in nursery school. What class did you
We met in primary school.
In primary school, I don't know. I
But
don't
we're
know
not in the same class,
where.
but
you were never in
We
the same
just
class.
met. I don't know
Yeah.
which class we were, but we just met each other.
Okay, so I'm doing this video with like my best friends of all time. Ah, flashy.
Drama.
So, like, Ginika, they're supposed to do that this video for her. Am I the drama?
I am the drama,
She
know.
is
like,
the drama. Okay, so the first question: what is like the most important thing for you? The most important thing that you look out for when like making friendships, like making friends generally?
What's the most important thing I look out for? I feel like it's basically someone that I can connect with. Connect in the sense that we have the same mindset. You can't 100% have the same mindset with somebody, but you people think in the same direction. You people agree with a lot of basic things and values. You people agree with them a lot. Like, like when I say something and you say, I'm like, yeah, you understand. Thank you.
Someone you click with.
Someone you click with. That's the first thing I'm looking for. The most important thing I'm looking for when I'm trying to build a friendship with somebody. If I don't have that with somebody, then I can't call you my friend in quotes, because we misuse this word friend. You know, everybody uses
I actually
friend.
started doing this thing recently where I check myself. You know, it's so easy for someone to ask you, oh, who is this person to you? And you're like, you're my friend.
Yeah.
But then when you think about it, most times that person is just like an acquaintance or a schoolmate or just somebody
or
you
just
know.
a colleague, just somebody
yeah,
you know,
or just
your
a colleague.
friend.
So yeah, what do you catch?
Well, okay. To be honest, I'm being very very careful about what I call friend now. I'm very careful, because okay, for example, there's this guy I met, and then he said calling just like a day or 2. Okay, let's just give 3 days. I called him back to me. He called himself my friend. I called him, wait, let's just relax, calm down.
Calm down.
Calm down. We're not friends yet. Maybe we'll get there, but we're not friends yet. So as Jawa said, I don't let to checkmate myself. If you're colleague, I'll call you colleague. If you're classmate, I'll call you classmate. If you're somebody the family knows, I'll call you somebody the family. That's family friend.
When you say family friend, so you know that it's not my person, it's just
but the
a
truth
family.
is that you might not even be family friends. Just somebody my dad and somebody my mom knows. And I happen to know you as well. So, I'll obviously look for the whole vibe there, but just maybe just look at the person and your surroundings. I'm not the kind of person you want to be your friend, honestly. You know whether they have the same values, whether you guys are in consensus addendum, as the law students would say. Whether you guys have
This one.
whether you guys have like-mindedness. You guys are going the same directions. As she said, Ginika said, you guys don't always have to agree
On
with everything or agree on everything, but at least
The
The
basics.
basics.
We don't agree on everything.
Also, vibing is important because
Yeah.
you cannot be
That
somebody
vibe
that
check. That vibe
you're
check
not
is
feeling.
important.
Do you understand? It's very, very important.
For me, the vibe check is everything to me, because like different people have different concepts of what fun
Vibe,
is,
yeah.
what fun
Exactly,
is.
yeah.
So if you're to hang out with somebody that likes say rock climbing or like riskier activities, and then you like to eat, I mean, our idea of hanging out is anything that involves food.
Thank you very much.
So imagine like me meeting somebody that the idea of hanging out mostly constitutes of risky activities. Like there's always going to be this agreement where we're like, oh, let's hang out, and the person is like,
But there's a mountain for us to climb. No, man. No. Can we go to some places and try some new food?
I
If
wanna
not,
eat.
thank you.
Yeah.
Let's just stay at home.
But I think like what the three of us are basically, or not, like what the three of us are basically trying to say is that it's important that you make friends with somebody that you have the same beliefs with,
Yeah.
you share similarities with, because if you don't have this thing like straight off the go, straight, what's the English again?
Don't worry, we understand.
On the get go.
Understand.
If you don't have these things on the get go, it's going to lead to like arguments, unnecessary yes, unnecessary arguments and quarrels and all that.
Like this thing you said now reminds me of when, oh God, we were once younger. Now we are still naive, but when I mean we are younger and more naive. Like when we were in JS1, when we were making friends, and that whole "which church are you going to" was coming up, and it was basis of argument, and I'm like,
I ain't asked anyone to eat church.
no, we didn't ask anybody, but there were some people that were doing friends based on, oh, I'm
Yeah.
Catholic, so this person is Catholic, so we have to be friends. And no, I didn't make friends with you. Yes, belief is one, but it's not about the church you are going to. And it was
because that's the thing again that we did not realize as children.
yeah.
Going to the same church doesn't entail
At
that
all.
you believe in the same thing.
Or doesn't entail you and that person must be friends.
Yeah.
Like,
So
yeah.
But the summary of it is that when we were much younger, we used to put the basis of our friendship on
Unnecessary
unnecessary
Yeah.
things. Yeah. So there is this like important part of friendship that always leads to problem, like energies, reciprocity.
Okay, yeah.
Is it the word?
Yes, reciprocity.
Yeah. So like also it's like important that whoever you're trying to make friends with is giving off the same energy, the same investment, is investing. Because it's a problem when it seems like one person is
I
very
wanted to call out somebody, but I will not.
Let's just okay. But I do have a question. Sorry, this reciprocity you're all talking about. Okay, that's wonderful. But what if somebody's own definition of reciprocity? Sorry, for some people, it's not calling all the time. It's not calling all the time. No, some people's reciprocity. Everybody has like love languages. Everybody has what they do. So for some people, if you keep calling them all the time, they're just like, what is going on? I don't understand. So I'm just asking because I've met people who they don't want you to call them all the time.
Yeah,
It's not part of their
but
reciprocity.
I think
Yeah, but I feel like what reciprocity is when we mean matching the same energy. It's not in who call pass. It's not in who call pass that will show up for you
That
when
was
the
what
chips
I was
are
trying
down.
to
Of course,
You
I understand.
So
But
it's all about, but like, Igbo will not in my mouth. Point is, when it is really, really important, and what the impact
yes,
is this person going to stand up for
that
you?
was-
I do understand, but I'm just like asking, like that reciprocity now for someone now that loves calling,
Okay,
and then for somebody that
that doesn't like calling.
calling, and they don't feel it like
If
that.
that person is truly your friend, you understand that, okay, this is not how this person is, and you give that person
that was
space.
what I wanted to say. Like, also another important part of relationships or friendships in general that you would learn is learning how to what's that word again? Compromise.
Yes.
You learn to compromise in relationships or friendships, but also again, which is another topic of discussion, like when to draw that line.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's also like it's important to make compromises in
Yes.
friendships. I think like we should talk about that compromises, line, reciprocity, like all that,
You get
because they're important.
It's important, but like she said, the example, like I call a lot. She doesn't. I'm giving an example, please. I call a lot. She doesn't call a lot. So I'm always, how was your day today? Like I feel like knowing this person is as my friend.
Yeah.
It's not like the person does not care. The person does not just call a lot. The day she calls, she wants to check up on me and know how I'm doing, and she constantly have me in my mind. But I'm the type of person that I want to talk to you, I want to call you every day. That does not mean that she's not matching my energy. She might be matching my energy in another way.
Yeah.
In her own way. She might be matching my energy. She might be the type of person, like if we are doing something in my house, like a dedication, she's sleeping over, she's deaf. Like if the event is on Sunday, she's there on Friday.
Yeah.
She'll go to the market with me. You get that kind of thing. That might be her own. Showing up might be her own.
Yeah.
While me calling might be my own. Everybody has their own. It's just understanding and not being bitter about it. Okay,
And the thing
you
is
call
to be
me.
the most important thing is to be careful about those people that don't bring anything at all to the table.
Yes.
Like in friendships,
push them from the chair.
friendships involve giving and taking.
Yes.
So when you're with somebody that is not bringing anything at all, it's just like it's always like you did not call to check up on me. You did not. It was my birthday. You didn't get me a present. You didn't do this. You didn't do that. But then when you sit down to think, like, what is this person doing? Person doesn't visit me. When I'm going through stuff, the person can't even notice. Because that's another thing.
Yeah.
Because in friendships, it's also important to have like that bond where, because it's not everything that you go through that you feel like talking about. So like a good friend, not always, please, so that you don't call me out, should know when you are going through something and understand based on your personality what it is that you want at that present moment in time.
Yeah.
Like see her this big ball of emotions. If she's going through something, the first thing that Ginika would typically need is you being there.
Yeah.
Do you get it? So if I'm going through something, I want you to pour all the advice in the world on me. Like that's how I am.
Yeah.
So that's also another important thing to look out for in friendships. I feel like if that is going through something, she will not typically tell you. So you have to understand that part.
If I'm going through
you don't have to
something,
be mad at her. That's what you don't have to be mad at her.
Okay, if I'm going through something, I recoil and I don't say anything. I just do on my own, which is something I don't do intentionally.
That's just
how I am when I'm going through it. I just recoil and stop my own.
And when we find out later, because we're not going to find out that time,
we
are going to find out much later. Some people will be like, I used to do that thing before when we were much younger. You didn't tell me. And when I'm going to something, I tell you. You didn't tell me. But no, I don't do it anymore because I understand that if you keep on that, you didn't tell me. You're just further pushing yourself away from that person. Just ask the person, okay, what do you need? What can I do for you? What will make you feel better? Do I come visit you?
Can I also interject that, sometimes you may ask your friend that, what's going on?
Yeah.
That friend, they do not feel like talking to you about it at all. Maybe for that period of time, they don't feel like talking about it. You understand? You shouldn't feel hot. You should just.
It's not about
another side
just
of
give
like
that person
a good
the room.
functional friendship is like you can tell us that you're going through something but you don't want to talk about it, and we explicitly
you guys understand
and we respect her
and don't feel I'm your friend. Don't feel I'm your friend and you couldn't even tell me. Do you understand? Or feel hot that person couldn't tell you. I've learned now that if a person or my friend comes to me, if I see they are hurting and I ask them what's wrong, do you want to talk about it? If you don't want to talk about it, it's fine. Do you understand? Just whatever I know, whatever is going on, I'm here for you. I help, I'm here for you. Those are the kind of words you should tell that person. But don't feel because you saying, you didn't tell me, kind of pushes guilt onto that person more. And that person doesn't need that.
Another thing that we learn in adults, realistically, there are so many things that people around you are going through that you have no clue on how to help them.
Exactly.
So sometimes it's just
what's the essence of me even
it's
telling
just
you?
discussions. Like it's just reiterating something, and then at the end of the day the person's like, oh sorry, order, which when with each new year that you add to your life, you discover that they are unnecessary, honestly. So as you get older, you rely more on, oh, I'm going through something, pray with me.
Very important if you are spiritual and religious, or
Yeah.
you understand. Like, I know I was going through something recently, and I called IJ and I was like, can you just pray for me? Like,
Yeah.
I couldn't pray. I don't know what to say. So I just needed somebody to, like, because I know I needed God at that point. So I just needed somebody to do it for me. I don't know that to call it lazy. I was just down, but I couldn't pray.
Like, so, those that have been through it understand what you're saying.
So sometimes when my friends are going through something and I can see money I did not have, advice I did not have. At least let me fly you out for vacation. I cannot do. The next now ask is, can I pray for you?
Yeah.
I'll not come and say, oh, I'll pray for you, blah 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 blah. I'll ask, because not everybody is as spiritual or religious as I am. So you understand that too. I'm like, can I pray for you? Should I pray for you? I'm like, okay, I'll pray for you. Or okay, I pray for you. I'll send you all these small messages.
Yeah.
It's the least I can do.
You know, when we were younger, you know, you just want to call somebody and you just want to rant. But as you get older, you just want solution.
Yeah.
So it's not a conscious thing. You tend to lean more towards those people or that can help you at that present moment in time. It doesn't mean that your friends are not still your friends. It's just
know. I think it's just to know everybody's dynamic.
Yeah.
Find the dynamic you have between your friends. Do you understand? Because there are some friends they won't call, they won't see each other for 6 months. But the day they meet, it feels like
go.
This
is you. It
feels like
watching.
No time
like
passed.
nothing, like no time passed.
Yeah.
Exactly. Do you understand?
Like when you say this, for me, one person just comes to my head. Like my family friend, they do.
Okay.
Like it's always like that for us. It doesn't necessarily mean that
you don't care for each
other. It's just like we said. I think another problem is when you look at social media.
Yes.
And their friend groups all over social media.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh, they're always meeting out.
They're always hanging out.
They're always hanging out. They're always eating, going to this restaurant, and see, create your own friendship
and
that
your
works for you, that is functional for you, not about social media. And it applies to everything, like relationships, friendships. Like, just find your thing.
I better go. This social media. I better go. Live your life.
The pressure is getting worse.
The pressure.
Is it worse?
Not that the pressure gets you. I mean, it's just social media.
Like,
it's picture perfect.
Exactly.
Nobody will show you
like what is really
the
going
horrible
on.
parts of their life. Do you understand?
There is an Igbo adage that says, judge. What you are seeing us now, fine clothes, fine, okay, semi-fine clothes, fine clothes, fine clothes. You do not know. You do not know behind closed door what is actually going on. Do you know what I actually borrowed this stuff for this video?
Yeah,
but you just see it and you'll be like, oh my god, they look so, hey man, we look so good. But you get what I'm saying. You just feel like our lives are all planned out, blah 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 blah. No, it's not like that. Sometimes.
In fact, I will tell you now that some of us don't know what we're doing.
Amen.
We are just
amen, sister.
This life, everybody's just trying to figure out what is
what
works for them. So don't look out.
And
Focus
dears,
on you.
Oh, sorry, my dears. As you're growing, you're learning. You can't figure this thing out on your own.
Yeah.
So just give yourself a break. Give yourself.
And I
grace.
also think, like, in friendship, it's also important to know that as the day goes by, each person grows.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's fair to fight over changes that come as a result of growth. Do you get, like, this thing that I said about, like, when we were younger, we used to talk to each other about, like, almost everything. It's like it was Channel 5 news, like, when we come in the morning, like, before school, like, we're gisting, we're catching up, this happened.
Yeah.
But, like, growing up, you realize that there are battles that are meant for just you.
Yes. There are some things you just want to keep to yourself.
Yeah, there are battles that are meant for just you.
This other person does not have to know about it.
Yeah.
You understand? You just want.
So let's say as we are them growing up and realizing these things, because we used to tell each other a lot when we we're growing up. So when it comes to this stage, like for some different friend groups, like they begin to fight, oh, you're not talking to me, you're not doing this, and you explain.
Yeah.
It's also important that in friendships you explain to this person, oh, I get that this is how I used to be, but this is what is happening. This is how communication is important in friendship. This is the person I am growing into.
Yeah.
So it's not fair that the person begins to be all like, no, you have to tell me everything.